Hey everyone, TimaeuSS here and welcome to another Etheria restarted video. Well, look at this. That's right, this is of course my Aurora team, and with it, the insane damage that's gonna come out from my Lilium. And it's absolutely crazy because we're gonna talk about the tier list today, and let's take a look at this insane damage first hit. Oh my goodness, almost half of the HP of Aurora, and this is the reason why she is now sitting in a tier 0 section for both Aurora and Termaton, as well as generic PvE, and PvP wise also a tier 0.5. But honestly, I think she belongs in the tier 0 category for PvP as well, especially after hearing some feedback from the upper levels of the RTA players. Now, without further ado, let's first take a look at our tier list and how things have changed based on the Pride Wind update. So couple of things here. You can see right off the bat we've got some new units, right? Lilium has been released for a little bit, but she got a massive buff. For those of you guys that did miss it, look at this 56-second clear Lilium. And the thing that changed for Lilium, of course, was her skill, right? This thing got insanely crazy. An additional 50% final damage was added to this, and also HP seals for 100% of the damage down, and then S2 also got a higher multiplier. So all in all, she became an insane crazy new unit, and look at her. Absolutely deserved tier 0 status in multiple different categories. Now, Didding, if you take a look at Didding, right, Didding is so strong still, but honestly, with how Lilium is being shaped out to be, I think she is the better Didding. CC control makes her really strong in a lot of the anti-sync stages as well. For sometimes going through towers, she's also gonna shine there. But Didding, has to land the passive on the lowest HP character. Sometimes when you open, that is not gonna be always the case. So personally, I really like how Didding was kind of the face of single target TBS, and now with Lilium's buff, boom, another disorder dark unit has taken over. But still, I think Didding will still always have a place. And even though Yelly did come out and steal some of his thunder, you know what? He's still a fantastic character. Of course, SS Sonia is still there, alongside the likes of Klaus, Lily, Linglo, as well as Valerian for the PvE tier 0. So another new character I want to point out that was added is Nilu, or Nilu? I have no idea how to pronounce this name, but Nilu is looking pretty decent. A poor man's Lily, as they call it, right? Having the ability to essentially provide some amazing speed buffs. You can see here, right? The skill 3 deals damage to all of the enemies, applies vulnerable, which is really good PvE skill, and then speed buff to out allies for 3 turns on a 3-turn cooldown. So this perma speed buff. On top of that, right, she will get to attack the enemies 4 times and heal the ally with the highest attack and increase their turn meter by 20%, which is really nice. You get a lot of speed push, and having vulnerability means that for PvE she is going to dish out quite a bit of supporting capabilities for your main damage. So this has been a very nice addition. Now, in terms of PvP, has anything changed since we've last visited? Yeah, Lilium is now sitting in a tier 0.5 section, which is great to see. And then Mizuki Makoto, I don't think she was that new in terms of the PvP tier list, but she absolutely destroys. As an SR character, she has been putting a lot of work in the top tier of Arena, and I personally do have her on my to-build list. I recently came out at X2 from a ton of gear for my boy like Obo, Kazu, but Mizu is definitely next on the list. Now, looking at the tier 0s, I would say all of this is pretty accurate in terms of who's sitting at the top for PvP. Bruisers are very strong dispatch. Rahu and Holden are essentially 2 of the strongest right now, right? And with Lilium being buffed this much, I honestly think that Tiamat is falling off to at least tier 0.5, if not tier 1 status, okay? I feel like, 100% seal is just a bit too much. So Lilium, I think, should go and replace Tiamat in this tier 0 slot, and so forth. And right now, Cleave with Messiah and Yelly being the only viable combination, it's not looking that great. However, I have been seeing a lot of Bjorn right? Bjorn and Hoyan, you know, as the bait. This is usually for GVG, but Bjorn has been actually putting some decent work. I do have a couple of dupes on Bjorn, so I'm gonna give it a try. But now I'm shifting towards more of a standard type player, which means I can open with my speed contesters in Lily, in Doki Doki, and transition, right? Either into a double cleave or going into the CC route with Obo as well as Kazuo, and still consider into pivoting into Holden Rahu. I have the skill ups for them, the lattices, but I'm waiting for the next patch to potentially take a look at what's coming up before I make the commitment. And in terms of sustains, both my Lingluo and my Sonya is good to go. I am waiting on Fucho though. I'm not sure if I have the resources to build both Holden Rahu and then dip into Fucho if there's another RGB that's going to be top meta coming up, right? So I'm holding off, but I do see her putting a lot of work against me, and having her in the draft is a really weak point of mine, and I can't even counterpick to steal that slot, right? So I definitely want to work on that. And later on, you know, building the likes of Mio, Veronica, and Mia is going to be something to look at in the future. So overall, I think the tier list, I mean, not a lot has changed, except the Lilium post buff is so insane. You know, making the tank meta a bit more bearable, because you have someone like her who can just slowly but surely break down enemy healers and sustains. And then the poor man's Lily is definitely a good addition to the PvE side of things, but otherwise things look pretty stable. I'm very curious to see the next two SSR RGBs we should be getting to. If the schedule and the banners remain the same in terms of the release, then hopefully they'll bring a bit more spice and take a look at what we can play out. Because right now, you know what, turn 2 tank down still really strong. Lilium makes it a bit better for, you know, if you want to counter them, and maybe alongside new characters we'll get new updates, new gears, new shells, and things like that to spice things up even more. But I'm ready for it, because with this Lilium, hey, we are gonna clear bosses like no tomorrow. Anyhow, thank you so much once again for watching the video. It's TimaeuSS here, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye now.